with being really competitive comes hand in hand a certain amount of discipline, which I also think, while we're on the topic of overall human health and wellness and talking about Arnold and all, a key ingredient to happiness, health, and wellness is discipline itself.
Yeah, and actually, a large part of what I want to do now is
doing things you don't want to do.
Well, that's true. That's a part of it. Exactly. We always break things down to a small subset where you can do it and you should do it, but we don't do it because it doesn't seem like it's a big enough change to do that.
Is a life well lived, Abhinav, in the minutia? Is it in the daily little things that we do, not the big picture thing at the end of the journey, but like I wake up and at the end of the day, I got to prepare my coffee for the next morning. Is it those little things that lead us to success and happiness and well-being by always being on top of those to a certain extent?
I think I would regress back to what I said about having a story that you can satisfy. Because you have to have a certain level of awareness that, yes, me making this coffee, it's meaningless. But at the same time, I know that I'm going to use this later to get up and be more efficient with my
I love
day.
it. It's in the realm of the big picture that you're going for.
Yeah, you have to be aware of both. You have to understand why you're doing it now, be immersed in that activity now, but you also have to have that foresight as to what this is going to bring you, so that way you're painting that consistent narrative, because that is what's needed for being successful in at least the physical health realm, but also I would say in the mental health realm, because like you have to remind yourself of your responsibilities when you wake up, that you do have perhaps children and a sick family member, and perhaps, like in my case, an older brother who's disabled or whatever. So it's like you'd have to be cognizant that that is something in your life. You can't just like walk away from that. I mean, perhaps you can, and maybe that's what you do want to do, for your good reasons.
Maybe you need to do it in certain situations.
So I'm not talking about like any exceptions. I'm just saying in the general scheme of things, you have to reclaim your responsibilities for the day almost on a daily basis. So it is like every day is a reset. You have to start over from scratch because whatever the fuck you did yesterday is gone.